What's up, everybody? How's it going? Thanks for stopping into this video. I got some crazy news for you. J.K. Rowling, I'm going to say Rowling. No, you know what? I'm going with Rowling. J.K. Rowling faces backlash for defending a woman who lost her job after transgender comments. Now, you're probably thinking, what are these transgender comments? And how did J.K. Rowling go about defending them? Well, let me fill you in. Rowling's comments were in support of Forstater, who was a visiting fellow at the Center for Global Development, came after the researcher lost a court challenge against her termination at the CGD, according to The Guardian. Judge James Taylor ruled that Forstater's termination was valid since her absolutist beliefs regarding biological sex includes referring to a person by the sex she considered appropriate even if it violates their dignity and/or creates an intimidating, hostile, degrading, humiliating, or offensive environment. Now, I'm pretty sure this is happening in London, and they have a similar Equality Act to Canada, which is soon going to be passed here in America, and it makes shit like this possible, where you can get fired for literally stating factual things. And it seems to me that this PC culture is actually infiltrating science and our government, because we don't want to go around defending people, so let's go changing the system in which we live in and everything about our society to accommodate a few people. Now, should those people be forgotten? Absolutely not. But that doesn't mean we go rewriting science and facts and logic to say a man can be biologically a woman when factually they can't. Now, can they live as a woman? Yes. Will they ever be 100% a woman factually, biologically? No. Do we have to go around saying that all the time? No, we don't. But if someone's going to hold a gun to my head and ask me, is this transgender woman with a penis a man or a woman? Guess what I'm going to tell you? And I have good reason for doing that. So here are the comments that the lady made that got her fired, that then Rowling went on to defend. And they're nothing. They're nothing. What I'm so surprised at is that smart people who I admire, who are absolutely pro-science in other areas and champion human rights and women's rights, are tying themselves in knots to avoid saying the truth that men cannot change into women, because that might hurt men's feelings. So this is what got her fired, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. And a judge held up that she be fired because she has absolutist beliefs regarding biological sex. Like meaning you're a man or a woman biologically, and those interplay throughout history and biology and evolution, and this is the way it's been, and it's the way it still is. And yes, there's exceptions to the rule. There's obviously people who are born with different chromosomes that are born hermaphrodites that have both genitals. But we're not talking about that. We are talking the standard rule. And the exception is not the rule. And I completely agree with this lady in these comments. It seems to me that it's a world gone mad. It's a world that would rather accommodate people's feelings than accommodate the facts on the ground. And that is a scary, scary world to find ourselves in. So when this happened, J.K. Rowling was shocked by it, like I am, and she felt the need to go on Twitter with her big audience and state a fact. Because it gets to a point where you're like, I'm just going to test the waters and see what happens. Even with making videos like this, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to be received. But I completely 100% think I'm right. And I haven't heard any reason for me to think why that statement is wrong. A man cannot become a woman. Now, if you want to talk in other terms like sociology and how we go about accepting people and their identities, then yeah, I will accept someone's identity as a woman. But you see how that sentence is gathered and put together? I will accept someone's identity as a woman. It's not saying, oh look, I see a woman, I identified a woman. No, it's saying trans women, not just women. So obviously there's a difference. Obviously everyone knows that factually there's a distinction, but yet we're not allowed to say that with our words. Okay? Don't say that with your words. We're only allowed to fucking think it. But anyways, here's what she said. Dress however you please, call yourself whatever you like, sleep with any consenting adult who'll have you. Live your best life in peace and security, but force women out of their jobs for stating that sex is real? Now, she's absolutely getting raked over the coals for saying this, and this is also poetic justice because Rowling's has been a part of the woke crowd. But inevitably, when you are a part of the woke crowd, there will come a day where you are not woke enough for the woke crowd, and you will be ousted. This is why identity politics sucks balls. And I don't want to be a part of any identity, because it seems each identity comes with strict guidelines with how you're supposed to fucking act. If you're black, you have to say this. If you're white, you have to say this. If you're a woman, you have to say this. If you're trans, you have to say this. And if you cross any lines, well, then you're just not that identity anymore, and get the fuck out of here. And I think a lot of the confusion comes down to this. People don't want to be mean. People truly don't want to be mean to others who are having a hard time with their identity. Am I even allowed to call it a crisis of identity? Am I even allowed to say that they're having a hard time with what they're feeling about themselves? Obviously they are. If they're born with male junk and they're feeling like a woman, then that's not good. I grew up as a child reading your books as an escape. I would often pick out names from characters to give to myself before I ever felt comfortable in who I was. Who the hell was ever comfortable with who they were as a child? I wasn't. Fuck, I'm still not comfortable with who I am. And I'm guessing this person might feel this is exclusive to themselves or to the trans experience. It's not. Everybody goes through it, and undoubtedly yours was probably more difficult. Not the teen angst part, but just the understanding who you are part. I'm guessing if you're struggling with your identity, well then growing up's gonna be pretty difficult. And I can get behind that, and I can understand that. But what I can't understand is getting mad at Rowling's for saying something that's true. This decision to support people that hate me and want to do me harm, it brings me to tears. Why? Now obviously this is a straw man. This is not what Rowling said. She did not agree with the people that want to do you harm. When did she ever agree with someone who said, I want to do trans people harm? Or are you wrapping up what she's saying as harm itself? The fact that she's saying a fact, that's harmful? Okay, well, I'm going to have to fucking borrow a book from Ben Shapiro here, even though I'm not a big fan of him, and say, facts don't care about your feelings. And that's one of those instances where we can say that. Just because that lady said what she said and then Rowling's went and defended her, that does not mean they wish harm upon you or agree with people that wish harm upon you. And me making this video stating my feelings does not exclude your feelings about the matter. Well, it does if you're wrong about your feelings, because let's get it straight, people. You can be wrong about how you feel subjectively. If you feel like a cat and you're a human, well, guess what? You're subjectively wrong about how you feel about yourself. Now, I don't want to go saying that someone is subjectively wrong in feeling that they are a woman. If they take all those steps to be a woman, they can live as a woman. I will consider them a woman. But again, if you're going to force me to say they're a woman at gunpoint, I'm not going to, because they're not. They're trans women, and that's completely fine. Anyways, this story is absolutely crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I should be back out with more videos soon. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.